Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Conference Championship edition of TMD. I'm your host, RJ Rice. Alongside me, Brett Berner, Aaron Pepling, and Matt Foley. We'll be continued to dive into the coaching carousel we talked about a little bit last week on our first segment. Obviously, some new developments and updates. We'll go over those here quickly. Atlanta got their head coach in Kevin Stefanski, also bringing along Tommy Rees from the Cleveland Browns. Thought that was interesting. Also brought along Bill Callahan, offensive lines coach, really underrated coach, one of the best at coaching offensive lines, so great get for the Atlanta Falcons. The Miami Dolphins get Jeff Hafley from the Green Bay Packers. They're almost building their own mini Green Bay Packers with also GM John Eric Sullivan there as well. The Titans getting Robert Saleh after their extensive head coaching search, and they are currently searching for an offensive coordinator to pair with him. There's a lot of suitors there. We'll have to wait and see who gets that one. And two offensive coordinators that are worth mentioning, the LA Chargers getting Mike McDaniel. So that'll be really fun to see him with Justin Herbert. And then Eric Bieniemy going back to Kansas City in the Chiefs. And you know what, guys? He might have brought back Travis Kelce for just one more year. I don't know. Heard it through the grapevine. But we'll go around the room. I mean, we can either talk about which was your favorite hire out of those mentioned, or if you're looking at another job that has your eye and you want to talk about that. But, Brett, go ahead and go for it.
How about Drew Petzing for the Detroit? No, but all seriousness.
Lions OC.
Yeah, new Lions OC. We'll see what happens there. Don't have high hopes, but Amon-Ra seems to like him, so I'm in. Mike McDaniel to the Chargers. What a get by Mr. Jim Harbaugh. Insane. I don't even think this was on anybody's radar that this was a possibility. Mike McDaniel, my opinion, I thought he was looking at head coaching jobs, and then he pulled out of the Cleveland search, and I was like, okay, this either means he's going to Detroit or he's going to Philadelphia to be the offensive coordinator. I've been preaching Mike McDaniel to the Eagles since what feels like week 8 of last season, but to the Chargers, this is a great move by LA because the Chargers are about to lose their defensive coordinator in Jesse Minter, and in order to be a legit Super Bowl team, you not only have to have a great head coach, but you have to have at least one top coordinator in the NFL. That has been something that has been proven the last couple of years. You think back to the past Super Bowl champions, going to look at it this year, possibly in my opinion, I think it's going to be Clint Kubiak for the Seahawks. Look at last year, Vic Fangio with the Philadelphia Eagles. All of this stuff, I think it's going to tie back to you need a great head coach, but you also need a great coordinator. And I think Harbaugh realized he's going to lose Minter, goes and gets McDaniel, offensive genius, but I pray he gets some offensive linemen because, man, Justin Herbert just needs it. He deserves it. He could be top 5 quarterback in the NFL if he just had some help.
I mean, top 5 might be, or that might be pushing it. Top 10, I could say for Herbert.
Name 5 better quarterbacks better than Justin Herbert.
This year or who I think next year?
Next year,
Matt Stafford. I feel like that's fair enough.
He's going to retire.
He's not going to retire. If he doesn't retire, he'll be better.
Let's say after having a career year?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I wouldn't retire if I'm him.
I would.
Dak Prescott's going to be better next year.
Nope.
Joe Burrow, if he has a better offensive line. Drake May, he'll be better. I would say Drake May, right?
Still a 5th.
Yeah.
Close.
You have 4.
I'm trying to think of what quarter. Oh, Josh Allen. That's for sure better.
What's going on?
Five quarterbacks better than Justin Herbert for next year.
Dak Prescott.
We had to have what if.
Dak Prescott was arguably a top
name
3
5.
quarterback this year.
Name him.
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe
Patrick
Burrow.
Mahomes is going to be hurt. Won't be better than Josh.
He said he was going to be back.
He's trying to be back by week 1.
Okay, I'll still name 5. Drake May, Matt Stafford, assuming he doesn't.
Matt Stafford's retiring.
Okay, there's still 4. Lamar, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Drake May, and then...
Joe Burrow won't be better.
Yes, he
will.
What are we doing?
Shadur Sanders, everybody. What are you talking about?
Jackson Dart.
Quinn Ewers.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Back on track now.
Yeah. No, but, I mean, great get for the Chargers with Mike McDaniel. I mean, he's proven that he is a very great offensive mind. Young, too. He's only 42, which, considering for coaches, that is relatively young. But then you also got, Saleh to the Titans. Didn't John say that the only reason Saleh failed at New York is because it was New York? I mean, that's most coaches with New York.
And look at Aaron Glenn this past year.
I'm surprised he still has a job.
He was never getting
it's
fired.
The Jets. Like,
What do you want him to do?
No, I don't think he would.
The only problem with that argument that people had early on in the year was because obviously when you trade 2 of your star players, you're not going to be good. And honestly, they played better after they got traded. If
I
you
agree.
watched film and watched the games, which is, trust me, I don't know why I did, but you know what? I just wanted to not watch the Cleveland Browns, so you know what? I was like, let's watch Jets.
Yeah, and I think Glenn will be a decent head coach for the Jets. You know, he brings that like energy to that locker room. You see it against the Bucks.
He played there too.
Yeah, and against the Bucks, he had when they punt return for a touchdown or kickoff return. For a
It might have been
touchdown?
blocked field goal or that.
Something. They were returning it, got a touchdown, and he was dancing on the sidelines. And that is just what you want to see from a head coach. But I mean, yeah, Saleh, I think he might be decent with the Titans. Obviously, Titans have a lot of work still to do with that roster. Getting a defensive-minded head coach, that'll be good for them. Then, obviously, Dolphins. I don't know much about Halfley. I know Cody, he thinks that it's a great hire for the Dolphins. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But, yeah, I mean, other than that, like Bieniemy, we'll see if he's back to his former self. Maybe he will be, maybe he won't. You never know. And Stefanski to the Falcons, great get.
Yeah, I've heard some rumblings from a Dolphins fan here at U92, Jonathan Raines. He's not a fan of the hire. I don't know why. Talked about him with it earlier today.
It's a Dolphins problem.
Yeah, some might say. And I tell you what, if you have that contract of Tua's and you were going to get rid of him, I mean,
can't even use Jalen Waddle, right?
That's going to be tough.
Just get ready for Malik Willis ball next year.
Oh, geez. Hopefully don't pay him $40 million.
Yeah.
That'd be something.
God, that would be bad.
I think my favorite hire of the hiring is probably Bieniemy. I think it just makes sense. You saw when Matt Nagy got hired, it was Patrick Mahomes' worst years of his career. With Bieniemy, he was basically God. So I think that's probably the best hire. I think McDaniel's a solid hire as an OC. Kind of an interesting spot. Didn't really see him as a Charger. It's going to be interesting to see who Baltimore and Buffalo hire, though, coming up, because those are probably the two best jobs available with, like, you're almost certain whoever goes into those jobs, you're contending for a Super Bowl either way. But, I mean, probably the Bieniemy hire is good. Saleh's a good hire. It's just, I don't know. They need to really hit a home run with the offensive coordinator for Cam Ward. But, and then the Miami one's, the last time we saw a Packers coordinator go to a head coaching job, it didn't really end well. In Nathaniel Hackett.
I don't like Bieniemy to the Chiefs, I'll be honest, because I think Kansas City's problems this year is their inability to modernize. So I thought that there would be serious talks about, we saw these coaches do these voluntary step downs. I thought Andy Reid might be one of them because
I think that's next year if they don't.
You're seeing a decline, but I thought they were going to try and get new faces in the building, completely overhaul.
Maybe.
But you just go back to your old faces. Like, at the end of the day, yes, you have the Chiefs and you have Patrick Mahomes, so anytime you have him in your roster, you're going to be able to compete. But I think what I saw last year, the Chiefs need to modernize because this is basically Mahomes' chance if he wants to be considered the GOAT or whatever. He never will be, but this is what Tom Brady did in the Patriots. Patriots had the first part of the dynasty. Brady tore the ACL. They came back in New England completely reloaded and had the next, another 3 Super Bowls in the second part of the Brady dynasty. The Chiefs are entering their second part, and I think they're just trying to go back to the first part, which to me, I don't think it'll work, but maybe it'll be 2022 Warriors instance where they kind of get those similar pieces and they're able to run it back.
I mean, yeah, bring up a good point. Obviously, those two parts of the dynasty for New England are very different. And I think for Kansas City, I understand it, though, at the same time. If you want, I think everybody was talking about it for the most part. It was Bieniemy's presence in the locker room. And I think a lot of players related with him and could actually, I guess, bond with him more rather than obviously Matt Nagy, and you saw the differences between. It was kind of like with the Patriots going back to Josh McDaniel again and again. But guess what? Every time it somehow seems to work. But, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I think that'll be very interesting to see how that works in Kansas City once Mahomes is obviously healthy. And, I mean, right now it's looking like Kelsey's going to come back, but we don't have official wording on that. But we're just going to take a wild guess here. But if that ends up happening, you never know. They could be good again, back up. That AFC West, though, is going to be so much fun for the next couple of years. The Raiders are getting Mendoza most likely and getting some more pieces. I tell you what, it'll be a really fun division, the AFC West. But going now to the open jobs for the cycle. We did not talk about this yet, so we'll bring it up now on the show. Sean McDermott getting fired by the Buffalo Bills due to the divisional round loss in Denver, an overtime game. I tell you what, guys, this was so fun. We'll obviously go into more of a breakdown in the next segment, but McDermott obviously getting fired. Terry Pegula actually had a press conference yesterday and basically pretty much said that, yeah, Brandon Beane got his promotion, and they're saying that the coaching staff pushed him to draft Keon Coleman, who, for those who do not know, he was pretty much a healthy scratch a couple of these games. I tell you what, I looked at the reports every week, and I'm like, he's really on there? Are you serious? It was really weird to kind of look at and evaluate, but I believe they've drafted 2 Pro Bowlers in 10 years, give or take. I mean, they've drafted some solid pieces, don't get me wrong, on the defensive side of the football. Ed Oliver obviously being in there, and Gregory Rousseau, just to name a couple. But I think really for Buffalo now, you have to nail this hire right, and there's been one man linked to this job. I tell you what, Brian Daboll will be going back to Buffalo.
I think it makes sense if they go after Daboll. He's the obvious choice to me. I don't know who else you're really looking at this point that you could get. You could go the younger route. You could try and get one of these coordinators like a Shula, like a Jesse Minter. But I like Brian Daboll here. There's obviously connections with it. I think it's a big mistake if Buffalo goes in-house and tries to get Joe Brady. I also think the whole situation with Brandon Beane is absolutely atrocious. Sean McDermott was scapegoated. Everything that's come out, Beane did such a terrible job in Buffalo, and he gets promoted to president. I hate the move for the Bills specifically. About to start. Like, why? Like, Sean McDermott, he's been there with you through so much, gotten you through some of the best days. Obviously, before the 4 Super Bowl run, the best days since in the last 50 years of this team. And now you're moving into a new stadium. There's so much hope. There's so much excitement. And you get rid of Sean McDermott. I get it was disappointing. Sean McDermott didn't turn the ball over 4 times. It was on your quarterback. I love Josh Allen, but Josh Allen did not play a good game in the divisional round against the Broncos. So, say what you will. I think Daboll's the right move, but if they want to go a different way, I could see it. But I think Buffalo needs a proven guy that can go out and win a Super Bowl right now because you have Josh Allen in his prime.
Yeah, I think it's a fair point, Aaron. Before you go, I'll talk about the interviews, who they've had requested and have completed so far. Lou Anarumo of the Colts DC, Joe Brady, obviously in-house as their OC from last year, Brian Daboll, who we just discussed, Anthony Lynn, Commanders run game corner, used to be former head coach, Grant Udinski, Jaguars OC, and Anthony Weaver of the Dolphins DC. So obviously a lot of names in there in consideration for this job.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he should have been fired. Obviously, they came in together, both McDermott and Beane, and if one of them should have been fired, it should have been Beane. I don't think Beane deserved to get promoted. I mean, he hasn't done a great job as a GM. In the time that he's been there, they've had 2 Pro Bowlers, and that's Josh Allen and who was the other one?
Deion Dawkins.
Deion Dawkins. Yeah, it's not like he's done a good job. He's just had players who have been there before, or who their coaching staff wanted, not that he wanted. Because Josh Allen, who knows if they would have drafted him if McDermott wasn't their coach. But when you bring them in together, you would expect them to either leave together or, someone just retire or something. You wouldn't expect the one who's done a good job to lose his job and the one who hasn't to get promoted. It's not typically what you expect, but, it happened. I know Bills fans that are extremely mad about this, but, the comments made by their president, what's his name? Or
their owner.
Owner, yeah.
Yeah, Terry Pegula.
Yeah, he not the smartest stuff that he said.
That was embarrassing for them. I tell you what, if I was a Bills fan, and obviously having a long tenured coach like that, I believe it was 9 seasons. Believe so. Don't quote me on that. But he was there for a while. Getting your coach fired, then having your owner basically just pull an embarrassing presser like that, I would, oh gosh, especially just after coming off the best chance you probably had at winning a Super Bowl, it's got to hurt. Tell you what.
I think it was 2017 they were hired, so right around
about
then.
9 years, give or take.
Around. But, I mean, interviewing Joe Brady, it's not surprising. I think this is pretty much Daboll's job, unless they pull out some wild choice. I mean, it could be Brady. I don't think it'll be Joe Brady. If it is,
I think that'd be a horrible hire.
Oh, no, I don't think it would be good at all. I think you keep him as that offensive coordinator. He's done a solid job there, but he doesn't – I'm not going to say he doesn't deserve it. I don't think he should get that head coaching position.
I see.
It's going to be Dable. I think that's pretty much it. McDermott getting fired, I mean, you can't really I think it's the same as Baltimore where, like, you've gotten it so much times there, and it's not really McDermott's fault this year, but a few other times it's sort of been he's been the one to put the blame on. But I just think Buffalo just needed a reset. Bagula's like press conference was just weird. Brandon Beane's also like just not a bad GM, not a great GM. Haven't agreed with a lot of his decisions. I feel like they've needed to go out and get a receiver for like the better part of the past like 4 years, and they haven't. But who knows? Maybe they'll get aggressive with Dable coming in. And then I just don't think Brady will be the OC regardless of Dable brings him in anyways. I just think he's going back to college somewhere.
Yeah, I think that'll be interesting to see what he does. I mean, obviously we'll talk about that later on down the line once all these jobs eventually get figured out. But I tell you what, though, for Buffalo, I mean, obviously they did try and get aggressive with an in-division rival. They tried to get Jalen Waddle. Obviously, I know there's a lot of conversations with that. I know Miami didn't want to trade him within division. Can't say you really blame them. But you sometimes have to think if that trade gets pulled through, does Buffalo make it to the conference championship game? It's, that's one of those what-if games. But we'll go to the next job, and I think this one obviously has just so many candidates. I'm not going to read them all off because there are just so many of them. But the Baltimore Ravens. And, Brett, we were talking about this earlier. I tell you what, it's probably Jesse Minter's job to lose because Cleveland and Jesse Minter agreed to cancel their second interview. So that happened with McDaniel last time he got the job as OC of the LA Chargers. And do you think he's going to Baltimore here in the next day or two?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't even think this is close. Like, I think this is the most obvious, clear-cut job is Jesse Minter to the Ravens. He basically told Cleveland that he was too good for Cleveland. Now he's going to Baltimore. So, I mean, Jesse Minter, in my opinion, going into this was the best candidate for any head coaching job. And I think he'll fit in perfectly with Baltimore if only the Ravens still had Mike McDonald and we had Jesse Minter and McDonald, two Michigan masterminds on the same. But now they're both going to be, going off and doing their own things. Two bird teams, two NFL head coaches. The Harbaugh tree remains strong. Unless you're Sharon Moore.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, yeah, I don't really know what to think about with the Ravens. I've not been paying too close attention to them. I've been paying attention to other stuff around the league. I don't know why I haven't been paying attention to the Ravens much, but, obviously Ravens, you would expect them to hire some bigger name that they think is ready to help push this team back to their playoff hopes and even Super Bowl dreams because you have the roster. I mean, you have one of the better quarterbacks in the league when healthy in Lamar Jackson. You've got a great running back when he doesn't fumble the ball every few plays or every few drives. But if they can get all that sorted out, which you would assume they will, they have a great roster. I think this is a Ravens team that can definitely win the AFC North. They almost did it this year, losing in heartbreaking fashion to the Steelers, but that was covered before. But, yeah, I mean, it's just going to be interesting to see who they hire. Obviously, it's most likely going to be Minter, but if it's not him, I guess I could see Kubiak maybe, but I wouldn't assume it'd be. I mean, that would surprise me, but I could see it if it's not Minter.
Yeah, at this rate in the cycle, I would be stunned now if Kubiak. I thought he'd get the Atlanta job if he were to get any, but I don't know. Unless Arizona pulls something out of left field, I'm going to assume that he probably stays in Seattle another year.
As I said last week, the Baltimore job's weird because you don't really know which direction they're going to lean, if they want to lean offensively or they want to lean defensively. It sort of feels like it's they could go defense, but you never know what the Ravens are going to do because they had Harbaugh for so long. And a lot of the veteran coaches are sort of done. I mean, there is still Mike McCarthy. He's linked to the Steelers a little bit. I think that would just be sort of you sort of get that veteran guy in. It's sort of but there's no guy that I like Minter feels like the young option that they would go with. Maybe Shula, but I just can't see Shula leaving yet. But I don't know. I think maybe Mike LaFleur from Los Angeles, they could just go offensively and just go LaFleur's brother. But who knows what the Ravens are going to do.
Yeah, I'm looking through the list. I don't think they requested an interview with him, to my knowledge. Like, they have about a good 15 extensive candidates in here, which is, they're doing their due diligence. Pretty impressive for Baltimore. I mean, they kind of have to. They have to nail this hire. I think it's end of story. I guess a dark horse candidate for this job for me would be Anthony Weaver from the Dolphins. I don't know. Baltimore and Pittsburgh, I guess, are really impressed by him. So, I mean, if it's not Minter, I guess you could look at Anthony Weaver, or if, say, Minter takes the Pittsburgh job somehow, and then you can see that also go that way as well. We'll talk about Pittsburgh probably super quickly if I can obviously find.
I think the Raiders is more, because I know who the Raiders should hire.
That one will be. Hey, if you want to go into that, go
Who
on.
are the Raiders?
Go for it.
I don't even know the Raiders.
There you go.
You know exactly who the Raiders should hire? Sean McDermott.
That'd be fun.
They should.
The perfect hire. I go to sleep at night thinking about Sean McDermott and the black and silver.
Really?
That's
what you think about?
Good to know.
This just feels so right and perfect. After all of this, you have the number 1 overall pick coming in. You've got capital ready to go. You tried to get a proven guy with Pete Carroll. It didn't work. This is your chance. Sean McDermott is laying there in your lap. Vegas is a prime time spot that NFL players will want to go. And you get arguably a top 10 coach in football and Sean McDermott to come into Las Vegas. I think it makes so much sense. I don't think the Raiders should go young. I think you get Sean McDermott. He builds Mendoza. He has Max Crosby. I love it. I think that's Vegas. You have an opportunity here to get your guy, and I think they should.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to shout out a wild one. Well, not a wild one, but for the Ravens, I forgot to mention this. I do think it is possible they go for Flores. Obviously, he was one of the best DCs this past season. He's looking to get a head coaching job. If he gets one, he will take
Staying
it.
in Minnesota.
It's going to be he's going to stay in Minnesota unless he gets a head coaching job.
So far for
trust JJ.
So far for this, it says he has not interviewed for the Raiders.
In JJ, we trust.
So I'm going to assume it's probably. I know he's in the mix for Baltimore's and Pittsburgh's. Shout out Don Brusco. He wants Flores for the Steelers, and I think it'd be a great hire for him. But obviously for the Raiders, we never know.
I don't think. I mean, for the Raiders, I agree with Brett. I mean, it's probably got to be McDermott because you need someone in there
Don't
who's
even interview him. Just hire him.
just hire.
Send out the tweet. Don't even let him know. Just tweet it out. He'll be like, okay,
Sign the contract.
I'm on the way.
I mean, you just need someone who has proven themselves enough to help establish stuff and bring players in, but also someone who isn't like Pete Carroll, I guess, in that sense. But, I mean, if they go someone else, I mean, I couldn't see it, but maybe they take Flores. I don't think he'd want to go there. I think he'd rather stay as a defensive coordinator at Minnesota than become the head coach of the Raiders, just because he is a defensive coach, and they're going to take Mendoza first overall.
Yeah, I mean, Raiders, weird job. Completely forgot that it was available on the market. But yeah, McDermott makes sense. I don't really know. Maybe Kubiak if you want to just try to start over from scratch and you just want to see where Kubiak goes with it. But other than that, maybe McCarthy also makes sense. Flores, I guess, but I don't really know what the Raiders are going to do. The Raiders are just going to do what the Raiders do.
Yeah, I mean, looking at their interviews, mainly looks more offensive from what I'm seeing, but still obviously some defensive names mixed in there as well. Curious to see who the Raiders go. I know Ajiro Evero, the Panthers DC, has had at least 2 interviews there. Jesse Minter has as well. That could be another option for him if he doesn't take either of the AFC North jobs. So curious to see. We got a couple minutes left. I will discuss the Browns coaching job a little bit because there's been a lot of news with that. Obviously, me and Brett mentioning that Jesse Minter's interview there, it's kind of been canceled out.
So
So
he was too good.
Final 5 is now Final 4. Obviously, Jim Schwartz, Grant Udinski, Nate Shieldhouse, and Todd Monken will be the Final 4 candidates. To me, I don't even think Todd Monken's really that should be even in that Final 4. Probably should be Final 3. Really all kind of depends. The Browns still need to have the Rooney Rule, as well as obviously the Bills. The Bills obviously fired their coach.
What a
I believe it
stupid
was
rule.
Monday. Right? Yeah, Monday.
Yeah.
And the Browns are the only other team, and we've had our opening for a pretty good while. So better get on it.
Udinski.
Yeah, I think that's at least my guess if it's not promoting Schwartz. I mean, if you do, and you have either Udinski or Shieldhouse as the OC, okay. I can live with it, but I would obviously want one of these younger coordinators to have that head coaching experience with this team and the offensive innovation. Big thing in my mind, at least right now. I think either Udinski or Schillhouse will be great hires for him. Obviously, you're going young. You're taking a little bit of that risk, but we've seen in the NFL it's paid off. So very curious to see what Cleveland does, but this is my prediction. I'll go Udinski, though, for right now. I know Kevin O'Connell has had great words about him in previous interviews, so hopefully that success can go to Cleveland if he decides to go. I know the Cardinals job, that one's a little bit weirder, I guess, more than usual. I know there's a lot of different ones. I think, to me, this kind of screams Vance Joseph. I don't know why. That's just a me thing.
I don't think anybody wants this job, I think is the problem, because what do you have to build on?
Murray might probably be gone.
Are you gonna trade Kyler Murray? Do you believe in Kyler Murray? What do you have on defense? What do you have on offense? What fan base do you have? What jerseys do you have? What pool do you have at all? What pool do you have in a division that has two teams in their conference championships, and then why is blank on the other team that's in the division? Seahawks, Rams,
49ers.
You have 49ers, maybe the best coach in football.
Lost in the divisional
to compete with. So, wait, what's the appeal for this job? Because let me tell you right now, the Cardinals are a bad organization.
Worst winning percentage of all time out of all the NFL teams.
This is a bad job to have. They just hired Jonathan Gannon. This is not you don't want to be associated with this team. I'm sorry.
That's why for me it just screams Vance Joseph. I'm telling you. Or somehow Arthur Smith. I think that'd be funnier.
There's only one thing they have to offer, and that's Trey McBride.
I'll give you another thing, those amazing NFL rivalries jerseys. So cool.
And they won't even bring them back. They're gone.
That's so garbage. I hate that. It should be forever in the uniform gauntlet. I know Atlanta's getting you new uniforms. That I do know.
The Falcons are going to get new uniforms.
That should be fun.
Again?
Yep.
The Falcons are up, dude. Kevin Stefanski.
Well, there's going to be two things. It either proves that the Browns screwed up again or that Stefanski was a fraud, one or the other.
Stefanski's not a fraud. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be the Browns screwing up.
Him v. Bake 2 times
Oh,
a
my
year.
gosh. What Baker said on Twitter.
Pure hatred.
Sheesh.
Love it.
What a fun time. But no, back to this Arizona job. I really don't know who's going to get this. This is like the biggest question mark job. I think the Raiders are up there at 2. Not that it's a bad job for the Raiders. It's just more question marks and finalists right now. But I tell you what, I don't really know who's going to get this Arizona job. Probably my best guess, like I said, would probably be Vance Joseph. But we'll have to wait and see. Maybe if Anthony Weaver doesn't get any of the AFC North jobs, he settles for Arizona. We'll have to wait and see, but let's see where we're at. Yeah, you know what? On time, we'll probably end it around 28 minutes. So when we come back, we will be going over the NFL divisional round and previewing the conference championship. Should be a lot of fun, so don't go anywhere. As you've been listening to 2 Minute Drill right here on U92 The Moose. Welcome back to the second segment of TMD. I'm your host, RJ Rice. Alongside with me, Brett Berner, Aaron Pepling, Matt Foley, and now Cody Burton joining us. Cody, we got a quick question for you now that you're here with us.
You guys know me. It's Cody Burton.
You know me. CB Scoops, Channel 4.
Just like his beautiful presentation during the meeting. I thoroughly enjoyed that, Cody. But we were here to ask you a nice little quick question before we go into the games and the deep dives of divisional round and giving you some predictions. The hiring of Jeff Halfway to the Dolphins. What do you think?
I'm happy for him. Now, he's a great guy. You could really tell the players on the Packers truly loved him. All of them are like, man, I'm so happy. It's sad to see him go, but I'm so happy for him, so happy that he's going to get the chance to shine in Miami. And I personally believe that if he's able to convince Malik Willis to come over there to be QB1, the Dolphins could be something this year. Some mid, but something.
Might be better than the Jets.
Good mid. I feel like that 8-9 mid.
Okay.
That's what I'm sensing if they get Malik Willis as that quarterback. But I like Jeff. He's a good defensive mind. I have to see how that offense looks. Was obviously, remember, back at Boston College, that offense was always pretty ugly. But there was a lot of stuff going on. He was actually had his presser today, his press conference. It was like, man, I wish I could just thank every single one of them all at once, but he was just like saying how much those 2 years with the Packers meant for him, and I'm rooting for him. Now, in terms of who the Packers should sign, there's a couple of good former head coaches out there that I'm like, please sign.
Jonathan Gannon. He's
I'd be
interviewing.
great with Gannon.
Yeah, that's not
That's
horrible.
a great hire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for a DC, not horrible. That's what he was.
Yeah, like
Back
he'd
in
be
Philly.
such a good DC. It's just, I don't know if the Packers will do it. You should also probably fire that special teams coach. I'm tired of looking at his bald
Rich
head all the time,
Bisaccia.
but-
Was he
Yep.
the Raiders dude?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
He was the intern.
Pistachia has cost the Packers way too many playoff games for him to still be on that sideline.
Per sources, CB Scoop says, Rich Bisaccia, it's time to go. But next, we will now go into the playoff games that have happened last weekend, and we'll start with Denver hosting Buffalo, a 33-30 in overtime, a heater of a game, as I couldn't keep my eyes off this game. I mean, I had to a little bit. I showered during this game. What came back in the fourth quarter? That's when the festivities
Take
were.
my eyes off,
Yep.
but can't be stinky. So
Hey, man, no, you got to always keep clean, man. But I tell you what, come back. It's fourth quarter. This game was electric. It was so fun to watch. Obviously, Denver getting the win in overtime. I tell you what, though, that Josh Allen turnover before the first half ended, my goodness, I don't know how you can ever take that back. Arguably, some could say that cost you the game. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of points. Obviously, the catch interception got called an interception. We can, you know what? Let's go around the room. Was it a catch or was it an interception?
it was an interception.
Interception.
Catch.
INT.
Okay, so Matt, you saved the graphic there.
It was a catch.
It was an interception.
Some
didn't have
might say an
possession.
interception.
I think it was. I don't even. But the problem is, like, did he catch it and did he have possession and hit the ground first? Because then he's down because he was being contacted with, or was the ball being?
It was being fought for.
Yeah,
But the problem is if he's still
Tie goes to the receiver.
yeah, because it's possession goes to receiver every time.
I'm saying interception because I'm still a Hail Mary believer.
But we also had
It's just an interception because, in my opinion, the call on the field's an interception. If you don't have conclusive evidence
Yeah.
that it's not a catch,
no,
it's-
that's
fair.
but that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna get to. Was we don't have enough camera angles to literally look and to see if the ball is moving or not. So there wasn't going to be enough to overdo the call. So oh well.
Yeah, it was one of those weirder play situations. I mean, and I'm not going to compare Dallas and Green Bay Des Bryant's catch because it's a little bit more different and to some obviously way different of how the outcome ended with that. But I will say, having those games come down to plays like that and just having such, I guess, not conclusive rules to me will still forever be. It sucks. Really hurts that you can't really get that outcome without having something like that happen. I mean, most games you do. Don't get me wrong. But when these situations like that, and a team like Buffalo especially, who really needed this win, they really needed to make a Super Bowl appearance. Obviously, McDermott got fired. We talked about that earlier because of it.
If it's a catch, does McDermott get fired?
If they score, yeah, probably no. He'd be in the conference championship. I mean,
that's the problem with NFL coaching.
That'll be a whole nother rant
Josh
probably.
Allen
I think
doesn't throw
yeah.
2 interceptions. Maybe he doesn't.
Yeah,
play.
that's the thing though. Josh Allen did not play that good of a game. I tell you what.
terrible.
I mean, he played
4 turnovers.
25 for 39, obviously 280. Believe that's 283. Yeah, geez, I can't read, guys. Hold on. Yep, 283 passing yards. Obviously 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. What do you have? 2 fumbles too?
Fumbles.
Yeah, 2 lost fumbles, 3 in total though. I tell you what though. I mean, having that and then comparing that, Bo Nix having 26, 46, 279, 3 touchdowns, a pick. Obviously, I think the more important thing for Denver now, he's done for the year. And that was so weird to see. I don't know why it took so long. It was the second to last play of overtime before they kicked the field goal. And then reports came out, 30 minutes after the game that he was just out for the year. I thought it was a joke. I thought I got, as some might say, sentelled. But I actually looked into it further, and I'm like, oh, my God, that's actually serious. And I'm like, that's so brutal for Denver because now you're having Jarrett Stidham play against Drake May.
Trust the script.
Wait,
Tom Brady still looms large over the NFL, and they know the only way to beat the New England Patriots is to have either a backup quarterback or a very mid quarterback. Jarrett Stidham's both. It is the only New England or Denver's pulling out all the stops to beat this Patriots team, and the only way everybody ever proved to do it was Nick Foles and Eli Manning.
Shout out Nick Foles, man. That
No,
run
don't
was,
shout out Nick Foles.
That run was so much
Should have
fun.
been Carson Wentz.
Oh, jeez. That's the big what if of if he didn't get injured after that potential
Tom Brady
MVP
would've
candidate.
had 8 Super Bowls.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah, you're not
Brady
pulling
already
out
is
that
enough.
Philly special with Wentz.
Dude.
Tom Brady would have 10 Super Bowls if it wasn't for Nick Foles and Eli
Eli
Manning.
Manning. Yeah,
Ryan
that's.
Tannehill
That's
too.
stupid.
Hey,
Ryan
Ryan
Tannehill.
Tannehill. Ryan
Worst
Tannehill
play
too.
ever. No, they weren't winning it that
Oh,
year.
jeez. But I tell you what, though, for this game, just to kind of recap this out, I tell you what, for Denver, I mean, Sean Payton and what he's done for the Denver turnaround, it's been impressive to see. He wanted Bo Nix for a while, like that whole time. Obviously, Denver ended up drafting him, and the rest is history. Obviously, with R.J. Harvey, Jaleel McLaughlin, having that running back duo there, having guys like Cortland Sutton, even Marvin Mims having almost 100 yards this game. R.J. Harvey as well. Little Jordan Humphrey even getting himself a touchdown in there. And obviously, yeah, it's Frank Crum, the offensive lineman, the big guy touchdowns. Let's keep it going, man. I tell you what, every time I see a big-time touchdown on Sundays or in the playoffs, even in the playoffs, it's like 10 times better. It's one of the biggest moments for your team, and you trust the offensive lineman. Tell you what, some teams got to learn. But
They still don't believe in Bo Nix enough to have him go out there and play the AFC Championship
well,
just to beat the Patriots.
on that ankle having surgery, I wouldn't want my quarterback, so at least my
He's
long-term
not
quarterback,
really
playing that
hurt.
either.
It's all the media.
All I gotta say is
Dude.
that all this is karma for Sean Payton for all the stuff he did in New Orleans.
God,
Bountygate.
Bountygate. Yeah, if you know, you know. God, don't go into details on that. But anyways, I mean that's a good win for Denver. I mean it was a really fun, competitive game, like most of these
Terrible
games
win for
were.
Denver. Let's be honest.
Hey.
guys. All this does is ruin the play. We could have Josh Allen against like now it doesn't even matter. There's no shot that the Broncos beat the Patriots. So this is a terrible. It's the worst outcome.
but
Nobody
what
wants
if?
to see Jared Stidham.
But what if?
I want to see Jarrett Stidham.
I want to see.
I think that'd be pretty
Jarrett
funny.
Stidham goes out there, throws for 125 yards, but 4 touchdowns as R.J.
Dude.
Harvey runs for 300.
Oh my
And then
God.
they get boat
Be
raced
beautiful.
by whoever wins between the Seahawks
then
and
the
Rams.
Seahawks come out there and if it's Seahawks Broncos, it's 24-0 after the first quarter.
Hey, I remember that.
I do too.
Yeah, I remember
Hey,
too. And you
Or the
know what?
Rams
It
come
was
out and
boring.
Puka's gonna have 200 yards in the first half.
Yeah,
People-
Puka just
people
poops
just-
on Jared Stidham and then it's over.
Just remember, what was it, 2015 or 2014 Super Bowl, the Broncos and Seahawks, where the Broncos just absolutely whooped.
Railed.
Yeah, but like that team was at least good. Like
Uh-huh.
Peyton Manning threw 55 touchdowns that year and over 5,000 yards.
True. I tell you what, though, Super Bowl blowouts can happen almost any time. Tell you what, that'll be fun
It
to
happened
see.
last year.
Yeah, that's
Oh yeah, it did
Yeah.
happen last
yeah.
year.
Happened when Mahomes was in the Super Bowl against Brady.
very, very forgettable.
Did happen then.
Yeah, that was true. That was fun. The
Twice.
Gronk record got broken then. Anyway, moving on. We're going to go to that Saturday nightcap. The Seahawks, speaking of blowouts, funny enough. Yeah, the Seahawks just destroyed the 49ers. I mean, 49ers were really playing with house money. I believe Trent Williams said that. And I tell you what, for what?
That's a great thing to say.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you really think about it, they shouldn't have been in this position in the first place. They were just so banged up and injured. And Robert Saleh's coaching job on the defensive side of the football, and even Shanahan as head coach, I believe one of the best head coaches in the NFL. I mean, obviously, that's why Robert Saleh got a coaching job again. It was just how good he was this season and dealing with all the adversity. And I think San Fran, you can't really be mad, but Seattle is just a certified wagon, people. I tell you what, the Seattle Seahawks team, so much fun to watch. I mean, even when Shaheed just had that kickoff return touchdown, you kind of knew Seattle almost had this, but I tell you
It
what.
was over.
Yeah.
It was literally
it's-
over 12 seconds into the game.
Yep. But I tell you what, at least San Fran gets the You Tried award. You made it to the divisional. I mean, shout out to them. But I tell you, this Seattle Seahawks team is going to be so much fun. I hope they make it out of the NFC. I want to see them in a Super Bowl. Their fan base is obviously really electric as they'll be hosting the Rams. And last time we saw these two teams play in Seattle on Prime Video, my goodness, that
It was a
game.
choke job.
That game was absolutely insane. Nuts. The 2-point conversion of dreams, some might call it. Cooper Kupp leading. Obviously, Kenneth Walker had 3 rushing touchdowns, but Cooper Kupp having those 60 receiving yards. Led all in receiving. JSN really didn't do too much, 3 for 19, but he did get a score, though. But I tell you what, this Seattle team, I will be very curious to see how that defense plays against the Rams. I think the Rams, if they don't start out really, really hot, I think Seattle has this game in the bag, probably by the third quarter. But you never know. We've seen worse. But tell you what, great win for Seattle.
Yeah, it's a good win for the Seahawks. I mean, there's just not much to say. It was, like you said, the 49ers are banged up. Yeah, you shouldn't be there, but you are, so try and go in there. The Seahawks team's great. Mike McDonald, can't say enough about him. Sam Darnold is just doing enough. Like, he's not – this game was over before it even started. Seattle knew they were going to go out there and they had the clear advantage, and they performed. San Francisco, they've played good. Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey. It's a great season. Now what? Like, this team is only getting older is the problem for San Francisco. So, yeah, you made it to the divisional. That's great, but you really weren't supposed to be here. So what's your plan now? That's what the 49ers need to focus on. Yeah, great season, whatever. Put on the back burner. What is the plan going forward? Christian McCaffrey is getting older. Brock Purdy might be getting more expensive as the days go on. Brandon Ayuk is not coming back, according to John Lynch. This defense is getting older. George Kittle is getting older. San Francisco needs to figure out what the 3 to 5 year plan is for this team. Because honestly, I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, obviously, the 49ers, they have such a talented roster, but they are just always so banged up. No matter what, they always have a big key player injured. You saw it this year when Kittle went out for 2 different stints of long periods. You had your quarterback out. You never had a fully healthy San Francisco team, but they were always just good enough to make it into the playoffs. They just weren't good enough to be a real challenger in the playoffs. Obviously, the Seahawks just took care of business at home. Just great game from Kenneth Walker. 19 carries, 116 yards, 6.1 average, and 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's just an insane game for him. One of his best this year. Darnold didn't even have to do much this game. Only 124 passing yards, 1 touchdown, only 17 attempts. Like, this was just a complete domination by the Seahawks. So it'll be interesting to see how they take on the Rams again, because that'll be a matchup of 2 very good teams.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle just came out and dominated from literally the first play when Shaheed took the kick back. But, I mean, 49ers were just playing with house money at that point. You beat the Eagles. You were already banged up. It was just Christian McCaffrey versus the Seahawks, and they just shut him down altogether. So, I mean, Seattle was Darnold obviously didn't have an injury, didn't even look like it. Don't know where those reports came from. But the Seahawks move on. It's going to be a great matchup between them and the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Darnold didn't even have to do anything in this game. That's how dominant that Seahawks defense was. Only threw the ball 17 times, 124 yards for a touchdown. I mean, Shaheed just cooked it right off the gates with that touchdown. You had Kenneth Walker go for 3. Long live Zach Charbonnet, out for the season with that torn ACL. But there's just so much question marks going forward for the Niners. Like, obviously, they're all aging. Now you're adding the fact that your best tight end, George Kittle, is down with an Achilles tear, and who knows how that's going to go. And it's just, with this Niners team, it's like they got so close time and time again. It's just they haven't been able to get over that hump. They haven't been able to win the Super Bowl. And it's just that time's ticking. It's like that rabbit with the clock meme, getting closer and closer to the time it all expires. And I guess now you don't even have a dear DC anymore. He's going to be at that wagon that's going to be building in Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be curious to see how that wagon goes in Tennessee. But I think really for the Niners, their Super Bowl window pretty much for the most part's done unless they get some great acquisition piece on defense or if they somehow magically get 5 years younger, but that's not going to happen. I tell you what, I mean, Seattle, looking at them and the talent they have, obviously, like you said, Charbonnet being out, but having Kenneth Walker now fully take over in the backfield, even Shaheed's had a couple carries. I mean, you never know how Kubiak and company are going to scheme offensively, but it'll be very fun to see how the Seahawks play against the Rams. I believe that's the Sunday at 6:30, pretty sure. But let's go to the Sunday slate. The Patriots and the Texans. This is pretty much as much of a lol-cow game as you can get in the playoffs, especially in the divisional, because really, C.J. Stroud lost this game for the Texans. I don't think that's any sort of debate. At least I would hope not. But Patriots getting the 28-16 win. Vrabel's going to the AFC title game against the Broncos. I tell you what, though, this Patriots team, they might have it, even though some might say that their AFC championship run might be a little bit too easy to get to the Super Bowl in San Fran. This Houston team just really kind of self-imploded. This defense is really good. There's some reports that Chubb won't be back next season for the Texans. Interesting enough. Go back to the Browns, please. But tell you what, though, for Stroud, that future is not certain for him. I would be stunned. I mean, I made this hot take on stirring the pot. Don't know if it's going to be entirely into fruition, if it's this year or next year. But in the next year or two, C.J. Stroud will not be the starting quarterback of the Houston Texans. I don't think it's really much of a debate, but this Houston defense is too good to waste.
He looked terrible. That's at the end of the day. C.J. Stroud looked terrible. But I'll let you guys talk about the Texans. For New England, don't let Patriots fans try and witch you away. Drake May also looked terrible in this game. This was obviously defense on defense. Obviously, Houston's defense, I get it. May's not going to have his best game. Drake May also didn't look very good against a really good Chargers defense. He also didn't look really good against a Texans defense. He's still finding ways to win. But let me give you a hint. Drake May is also now going to play the Broncos defense, which is one of the best defenses in the NFL. They're finding ways to win, but New England's defense really flexed their shoulders in these first two games, and I think that's what more people need to talk about. Yeah, Drake May, fun times, second-year quarterback. This defense is built. They went out free agency, signed a lot of guys, and I think that's been impressive.
I got a news bomb in the coaching world.
Jesse
Brett,
Minter.
we called about this. The Baltimore Ravens are hiring Jesse Minter to be their next head football coach. Just now dropped.
Bird gang.
Yep, it's official. I thought it would be tomorrow, but you know what? Nice little TMD bomb. But tell you what, that's a great hire.
Ravens Seahawks next year.
It's a great hire for the Baltimore Ravens.
Bills Rams again for the past.
Chargers.
Ravens.
Actually, no.
Chargers.
AFC
Ravens.
title game.
Giants Bills, a New York Super Bowl.
Mike McDaniel, baby. Jeez,
Giants
now
are going
we're
all
all out of sync. We'll talk about it in 2 seconds. I think it's a great hire for Baltimore. Glad we finally got a coaching bomb on here. I was waiting for one. Now it's time we get one, and shows that you know what? Maybe it wasn't the Cleveland Browns after all. I'll tell you what. I'm just self-coping. Let me live. But back for the conversation though, on the Patriots, and they're playing, or Drake May's playing of high-level defenses.
Yeah, I mean, Drake May, he's going to have to take on the third best scoring defense. I think they gave up in the regular season 18.3 points per game, which, I mean, it's just going to be like the best defense Drake May has faced all season. And we've seen him struggle against good defenses, obviously against the Texans. In this one, he put up a 20.8 QBR. That was worse than C.J. Stroud, and C.J. Stroud had 4 interceptions. It makes no sense how Drake May was in the race for that MVP. He's definitely not going to win it anymore based off his performance at the playoffs.
Well, he was never going to win it to begin with.
It should be Stafford.
Drake May
Yes.
deserved that MVP. Not deserved, but he deserved to be in the race.
Yeah,
At the time,
he already
did.
is in the race.
For the regular season, yes. But in the playoffs, he has not looked good at all.
He's played great defenses.
Well,
the Rams have played Cupcake Carolina and who's the other team?
And in the regular season, the
Cupcake
Patriots-
Chicago.
I wouldn't say Carolina's a cupcake.
They're a cupcake.
You're lucky Don Brusco's not in this room, or else he'd be.
Look me in the face right now and tell me you would rather play any other team in the playoffs this year before the Carolina Panthers.
I wouldn't. I'm not telling you anything.
Besides maybe the wild card Steelers. No.
I would rather play the
Just for-
Panthers than the Steelers.
Yes.
Fair enough. All right, out of this.
Where am I playing?
Yeah, that's we'd have
They
to.
were both home teams.
Yeah, they were both
They're
home.
both home teams.
So
you're
you'd rather play
Carolina or
Carolina?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I guess Carolina.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
fair point.
You know
Fair
what?
point.
I'd rather play the Chargers,
I mean, with that
That's
offensive
insane.
line.
Okay.
Insane take.
especially in the playoffs.
The Panthers were 8-9. A losing team.
And they almost won.
They did almost win. I'll tell you
Shout out
what.
Bryce Young.
almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Hey,
does.
Hey, I'm just
bright,
not, just
bright
not
future
Justin
for
Herbert.
Carolina.
That's if.
I'll tell you what.
Not almost.
Almost.
If.
I mean,
It's not almost.
If I was Justin Herbert, I'm not saying that.
All right, I'll get
All
us
right,
back.
Get
on
us back
track.
on track, man.
The Chargers.
The incredible if.
Who are the Patriots? We're talking about the Patriots, right?
Patriots, Texans.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud.
Come on, Matt.
Dude, we got off track.
We did.
C.J. Stroud, abysmal first half. Been abysmal all year. Defense was as good as it should be. Defense played well, good enough to win the game. Drake May played all right, did what he needed to do to win the game. So not much to say otherwise. They won the game, and now they probably have a free trip to the playoffs or to the Super Bowl.
I believed in them, and they failed me. I believed in that defense. I believed the defense was enough. I believed that C.J. Stroud would decide to play with more skills than a hamster in the playoffs. But no, he did everything that he could to lose. I mean, he literally proves that whole meme where it's like the Houston Texans defense after C.J. Stroud throws his 400 pick of the game, and it's just like forced fumble, like Madden hit stick compilation. But man, this Texans defense was so good. It's a shame that they went out like this. But it was like, whenever you have a full team that's just like top to bottom, so much strong defenders. Aziz Al-Shire is one of my favorite players in the NFL. I love those hard hitting linebackers. I love those hard hitting players.
He's a Pro Bowler.
He's not a hard hitting player. He's a something else.
He's a Lou Dort type of player.
He's a Lou Dort type. That's a perfect comparison.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm also a big Will Anderson fan. I've always been a big Will
He's really
Anderson
good.
Yeah,
fan.
he's great.
But it's just a shame it went out like this for the Houston Texans. But on the Patriots side of things, they are by far the favorite to win their next game. But Drake May is going to have to play a little bit better. I mean, it's not like in my opinion, that Texans defense is better than the Broncos defense in terms of a pass rush, in terms of everything about it. But you're against a backup quarterback. Your defense is strong. You're going to be put in positions to win the game throughout
On the
night.
road, too.
Yeah, you're on the road.
First time New England's got to go on the road.
Yeah, you're on the road, but you're going to be put in positions to win the game because, I mean, in all likelihood, Jarrett Stidham's not going to throw out there and just play an absolute dime. But if he does, Drake May is going to have to step up. He's going to have to prove this is why you are number 2 in the MVP race. This is why you've played so good throughout this season. This is why you have put yourself as the face of the franchise as a quarterback in the team that used to have the greatest player to ever play the sport before you. And I mean, he just has to prove now. I mean, if they win the Super Bowl this year, most ever. So extend like making that gap. So yeah.
Yeah,
Winter's coming.
Oh, jeez. I tell you what, though, this for this Houston organization, it makes it really easy to know who you're going to give that big contract extension to. You're giving it to Will Anderson. You're not giving it to C.J. Stroud.
No deal. What has C.J. Stroud ever done? Ever.
He beat
in his life.
Good rookie year.
He beat the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs.
With a great receiving core. You also want to know what he had in college? JSN, Emeka Ibuka, Marvin Harrison Jr.
And just you wait until
Never beat
Dell's alive.
Michigan. Never won a national championship.
Okay, all right, moving on. This is irrelevant.
Got like 2 points on the NFL Smart Challenge on that test. Literally proved he's an idiot.
Who else? Somebody else had a really.
It was like Tim Tebow or something.
I forget what.
No,
It's
but he was.
all right.
Nobody.
We got a couple games to
Don't try
go.
to defend him.
We got a game to go over. And I'm not defending
Somebody
him.
got a really bad one.
Yeah, trust me. It's playoff Stroud. He's not good. End of story.
It's
But
C.J. Stroud.
let's talk about a better game, a fun game. Bears, Rams, and that Caleb Williams throw, people. My goodness, that was incredible.
Thank you, Los Angeles.
That was massive.
Thank you.
That play, though, you have to admit, Brett, that play was massive by Caleb Williams.
It was insane.
I tell you what.
Sitting there on the couch, and he ran to the 40-yard line and hucked that she up. Also, Kobe Durant, you're fired. I don't know what you were doing.
He's like Nico's DB.
Yeah, you're fired. But, I mean, Caleb Williams, Iceman moment, and my first word out of my mouth was no. I was like, no.
First word in the group chat too.
Yeah, it's like that Daredevil meme. It's like punches goes no. I just the whole way running back, I was like, there's no way, and then he caught it, and I'm like, no. But the Rams, and then the Rams punted, and I was like, it's gonna happen. Chicago's actually about to go to the NFC Championship. This can't be real. This fluke season
Cardiac
of the
Bears,
where they did absolutely nothing to be deserving of being in this moment. They won so many games by the hair of their chinny chin. Let me tell you right now, this Chicago Bears team is going to be exactly like the Kansas City Chiefs were this year. But I will say, at the end of the day, it was just the Bears' identity that Chicago, Caleb Williams can make the most insane throw you've ever seen, or he looks like Duck Hodges. And that's just how he is, I guess.
what a comparison.
This will be a season Chicago will forever remember, but thank you, L.A.
I don't even have words to describe that throw. He ran back, 25 yards and just chucks it in the air, and his receiver comes down with it. Like, that's something you'd never see.
It's magic.
Yeah,
It's cardiac
it is
Bears.
magic.
It's ice.
Ben Johnson's got him back to sites they haven't seen in a while. Let's just put it at that. But We got about what? Oh, geez. We got about 2 minutes left, people. We might have to rapid fire our picks here for the conference
I'm
championship.
just happy the Rams won.
Successful hate watch. Thank you, Matt Stafford. Thank you, Kyron Williams.
Matthew Stafford, man.
Thank you,
I have
Blake
no
Corum.
opinion on this game. The right team won.
There you go. I'm trying to forget who we picked. I think I picked the Rams. I think I might have went 4-0, actually, now that I think
Wow,
about
look
it.
at you.
I don't know. I forget. I'm going to have to
You
go
know
back.
who didn't go 4-0? Connor
Who?
Bradford. He went 0-4.
He was a Texans to a Super Bowl believer, which if
Big
Stroud
mistake.
actually played like a competent quarterback, you could make that argument. Just saying.
Yeah,
but
the best defense in the NFL.
yeah.
Hey,
I mean,
that
didn't see this draft.
one toddler on Instagram finally got her first playoff win.
Oh my
prediction
God!
right.
Yeah, no, that is actually fun to shout. Like she got him like all
for the
wrong. I
kid.
felt bad, but you know what?
She was 0 for 8 until
Yep.
the Patriots.
Congrats
won.
on your first win. You know,
All right, so
it's
we're all
all.
taking New England. So who's
Okay.
everybody taking for Seahawks?
Hey, you know what? We'll
Whoa,
ask
whoa, whoa.
around. No, we gotta like rapid fire this.
That's why I said everybody's taking
Patriots,
New England.
Broncos,
New England.
Patriots, New England.
Give me the Broncos.
All right, Aaron.
New
Please
England.
tell me you're kidding.
No.
All right,
Pats.
Jarrett
you got the
Stidham.
Pats too, Cody.
I said Patriots.
All right,
Jarrett
so-
Stidham's got this.
All right, you know what? Aaron's saving the graphics, so we'll all be right, not him. So, thank you, Aaron, for that.
Hey, I just have it in my predictions.
There you
for
go.
My, picks.
You know what? I respect it. Somebody had to do it. Rams, Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Here we go. Aaron,
Rams.
Rams been saying it since the start of the season.
The Bird team.
I'll take the Seahawks as well. I tell you what, this Seattle team is just too goated. I don't know what it is, offensively and defensively. Sam Darnold has to play a little bit better though, but it'll be fun to see how the 12th man responds. But that'll be it for this conference championship edition of TMD. When we come back next week, be a little bit different. Obviously, talk about these two games and the results of those, and then obviously some head coaching updates. I mean, we had one luckily with Jesse Minter on this segment, but then it'll be the Pro Bowl. So we'll talk about that for a little bit and some maybe a little bit of NFL honor stuff. I'll have to think about it here. But thank you for listening to this edition of 2 Minute Drill. We'll be back next week, Sundays 12 to 1. So you've been listening to TMD right here on U92 The Moose.